The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table in the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him, and the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man," and then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers, or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back and you have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the cripple, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.
Today, August 28th, is normally, when it doesn't fall on a Sunday, celebrated as the memorial of Saint Augustine, bishop and doctor of the Church. One of the most well-known, influential, and beloved figures in all of Christendom. Many are familiar with his life's journey, from sinful conduct to faithful Christian living, as detailed in his autobiography, The Confessions. Today, I would like to present an outline of his conversion, a journey from pride to humility that I believe all of us can relate to in some way or another, and demonstrate how, in the words of Augustine, our heart is restless until it rests in God. Although he was raised Christian, Augustine allowed himself to be influenced by the culture of his day, and he fell into all sorts of sins of the flesh. He was motivated here by pride, by a desire to fit in with others, to be recognized and praised, to put others down so that he could be raised up. Like those whom Jesus admonished in today's gospel reading, Augustine sought places of honor, but never truly attained them. You see, when we are immersed in sin, we make an idol of ourselves. Above all things, we pursue our own desires, our own ambitions, our own emotions. But those things are ever-changing, and so we are tossed this way and that, never finding what we truly desire. And so our heart is restless. Throughout all of this hedonistic living, Augustine's mother, Saint Monica, whose memorial we celebrated yesterday, never stopped praying for his conversion. And so she was delighted when her son finally abandoned this lifestyle. However, she was horrified to see him embrace not the Catholic Christian faith, but rather a heretical sect known as Manichaeism. This was because Augustine was still motivated by pride. The Manichees claimed to know all the secrets of nature and of heaven, and Augustine's intellectual nature was drawn to the idea of being able to have all of the answers for himself. He did not heed the book of Sirach, which says, "What is too sublime for you, seek not. Into things beyond your strength, search not." And so, because he pridefully sought all of the answers for himself, all he found were lies. When we embrace any belief or any ideology other than the very gospel of Jesus Christ, or when we elevate any pursuit or any interest higher than the practice of our faith, we remain torn, as Augustine was, between truth and falsehood, between the affairs of this world and the pursuit of God. And because the affairs and the ideologies of this world are always shifting and changing, our heart remains restless. Thanks to the ceaseless prayers and tears of his mother, as well as the powerful witness of the bishop, St. Ambrose, Augustine began to see the truth. But the definitive moment of his conversion was prompted by the voice of a child. Overhearing a young person who was saying, "Take up and read, take up and read," Augustine picked up a Bible and read, "Put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the desires of the flesh." At last, this sinful and confused young man knew to whom he must turn: to Jesus Christ, to God himself. In the days and months and years to follow, Augustine's pride was dispelled, not by his own efforts or his own intelligence, but by the grace of God, because he was finally willing to let God work in him. Augustine approached the Catholic Church, the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem. He was baptized and later became a priest and then a bishop. Throughout the rest of his life, he never stopped preaching the truth of the gospel, teaching all to seek God in all things and above all things. And this is my message to you today, because truly, our heart is restless until it rests in God.